to the Nerd Effect News Show, week ending June 8th, 2014. I am one of your anchors, Dustin Vancouver, joined by my fellow anchors,
Mac Morgan,
Mason Ireland,
Nikki Prindle.
Yay! Woohoo!
That sounds so much better.
Awesome.
Hey, you guys. How's it going?
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
Audience, I missed your ear holes.
Yay. Oh, you back to violating their,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
their eardrums?
Yeah, I've been molesting the eardrums of the innocent.
That's hot.
Wow.
Yes, we are fully staffed and ready to rock your ears with some massive news articles, I think.
Massive schlongs shaved news articles. We were...
That's what she said.
We're like the Q-tip of news.
We just shoved the build-up in there further. We're not actually doing any good.
I have done that before, and I have been completely deaf in one ear before for like days.
The doctor forgot to check my hearing, and I'm really hoping that's why it's so bad. She's like, you can come back in and I'll check it for you. Gross.
Yeah.
So gross.
Little view into our lives there.
Do, 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 do.
All right, little Rochambeau. See who calls it.
Bam. Ready?
Dustin and Mason.
Okay.
Go. Showdown. Yeah, scissors, paper. If you could stop throwing the same thing, that'd be cool. Yeah.
All right,
It's all those
I'll just go
make-outs, you guys
first.
just in sync.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Not for too long.
Yeah.
I'll go first, since the rage in my heart is pure and still burning. Man, allergies suck this year. Woo! Sorry, my
Sure, it's your heart or your eyeballs?
yeah, my eyeballs burning with hatred of 1,000 techno geeks.
Of a 1,000 bits of pollen.
Yes. So my news this week, you may have seen me rage twice about it now on Facebook. I guess recently, this part I actually didn't know until I read the article, but apparently Apple had acquired Beats Audio, I guess recently. I'm not sure, they didn't give an exact date when they did, but they're saying that...
It was a few days ago, and it was like $2.5 billion.
3.2 bills.
3.2? Okay.
So, and they're saying it apparently is starting to make sense. So Apple, in their infinite knowledge, has decided that, well, the first article I had was a rumor. The second article I think I found that I had posted on Facebook was kind of the confirmation that they were going to do that. They're going to take, it pains me to just physically even say it, so I'm just going to try and put it out there. I'm going to force it out of my lips. They're going to take their lightning jack, the one that charges your phone, for iPhone 5 users and newer as they come out.
Yes, it's also a USB. It's a
that thing.
It's a proprietary USB port, is what it is, whether Apple wants to admit it or not.
And they're gonna turn that bitch into also your headphone jack, which pains me. And by that I mean just that as your headphone jack. I guess there was the contemplation that they were going to remove the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack from your phone and replace it with the Lightning audio jack. Now, you may ask me, Dustin, why is that so bad? Well, if you're listening to this show, you should better know why that's bad, because your ass is now going to have to drop anywhere between probably $30 to $50 for an adapter, or another $50 to $100 for a pair of headphones that will actually work on the motherfucker. Now granted, what will probably happen is that Apple will probably include some sort of Beats earbuds with the iPhone as it comes in. However, I don't fucking fall for your candy-colored coated bullshit. That's just me. Apple, if you're listening.
Which we know you're not, but...
But, I'm totally in line with the fact that Beats are overrated. I have not been able to find any sort of actual audio comparison between those and like a solid mid-range like pair of Sony earbuds or Samsung earbuds. I'll tell you right now, the Samsung earbuds that came with my Galaxy sound superb. I was actually very surprised by how well they sounded, and guess what? They fit into a 3.5 millimeter jack.
Yeah, like Apple, the earbuds that have come so far with Apple, iPod, iPhone, etc. products are complete crap.
Yeah, they're chintzy as fuck.
I go through headphones so fast that I have a tendency to buy the cheap, shitty ones. So when I got my iPhone and the headphones that came with it, it was a step up to me.
Okay, because like these skull candies that are in my ears.
Yeah,
currently,
I know.
are $20.
I spend maximum $10 on headphones because I break them or lose them.
Okay, because
In
I was
a
saying,
month.
and they're like, I don't know, at least a magnitude of power better than the iPhone ones.
Yeah.
So
I gotta agree with you on this one completely. I think it's a dick move on Apple's part.
Oh, it's a total dick move.
yeah. And the
not
thing
arguing
is
with
like,
that.
I remember reading through one of the articles about it. And they're like, and you'll be able to do things like answer phone calls and change your volume from on the headphones themselves.
I already have Apple headphones that do that.
Yeah, exactly. I remember back when I had iPhones, the default headphones that came with them could do all of that. You don't need this lightning port to do it. And they were not powered headphones.
The idea, I guess, behind theirs is that there's going to be like some sort of proprietary app that will come with it.
You don't need an app to do it. It was just,
Well, the app will be able to do, I guess, it will allow it to switch between audio and digital and stuff like that, which is all
Yeah, there's supposed to be
bullfunk.
like advanced headphone controls in the app, and it was just
My
Yeah,
headphones,
it's
if
all
you
crock of
pushed
shit.
down on the sender, it paused. If you pushed down again, it played. If you pushed twice, it skipped to the next song. If you pushed 3 times, it went back a song. And it had volume, and you held it down to talk to Siri. What more do you need? Your phone is a maximum of, 4 feet away from the end of your headphones?
yeah.
How lazy are you that you are like, I just want to reach up here right by my collarbone. That's as far as I want to stretch out my little arm. I don't want to reach for my phone. I need all the functions on my headphones.
Apple also says that this will help make potential iPhones thinner for the future and allow them more room for battery to give you extra battery life.
It's not going to be that much more battery.
Yeah.
And as long as a phone can last a day, you're good.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly.
Who doesn't just plug their phone into the charger at night anyways, just in case so that it
Exactly.
doesn't die and your alarm doesn't go off?
I get those calls.
Yeah.
I do get those calls. It's crazy.
How do I turn my phone back on?
Oh my God.
My
Been
power
there,
button
done
stopped
that.
working. That's been fun.
Okay, so press and hold the power button. Well, I press the power button. Press and hold the power button. You have to hold it for at least 2 or 3 seconds. Oh, okay, there it is. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's basically just a douchey move by Apple. Trying to make something more proprietary than it needs to be so they can make more money off of either customers directly or off of licensing the technology to third-party manufacturers to get them to pay for it. And I'm basically really hoping that no third-party manufacturers get on board and this goes down like a giant flaming ball of turd like it is.
Well, and my earlier rant from today almost didn't revolve around the same thing, but the fact that the story that I had read had called it a new standard, like Apple was trying to set a standard.
Oh no, it's Apple. They are trying to claim it as a standard.
Which is horseshit. You will not be able to claim a lightning port as a standard in the audio industry. Will not happen.
Yeah, how long has it been?
The 3.5
Yeah,
millimeter
3.5
and
millimeter.
the, was it 6 millimeter jack? The bigger
Oh,
one?
it's like 5 1/4, I
5
think.
1/4.
How long has that been the standard and they're trying to change it
Forever.
just so that they can make more money?
Those have been the audio standards forever. They're never going to change in the audio industry.
You just,
Because then everyone would have to replace all of their everything.
well, and that was my point that I made. As like, you can't call it a standard. If it's a standard for Apple, that's just straight up called fucking proprietary.
Right.
You can't call that a standard. That is horseshit. You can't call it a standard unless the industry as a whole accepts it for what it is and uses it across the board. My examples given were DVD and Blu-ray. Both were a format that were in a battle with another format. One of them came out on top.
Yeah.
And it became a set standard across the industry. Now, if this, by some fucking miracle, pops out on top and says it's a new industry
That
standard,
wouldn't be a miracle at all.
would not. Oh,
That means it's official. Apple has made a deal with Satan.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would. And you know how much audio equipment you have at home would become obsolete after even 30, 40 years of owning it? There are solid stereo systems out there
Yeah.
that people still own from nice vacuum
my
tube
parents have had
stereos
theirs
that
for
are crystal clear.
30, 40 years, and it works great.
Yeah. And then now because of this, you may not even, if it becomes a standard, and it won't, then that would just pretty much ruin everything. You'd have to buy an adapter for everything and start shelling out more money for stuff that you shouldn't have to. And red.
You okay? At least the article wasn't in Papyrus.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Don't say such things.
With the captions for the pictures and comic sans.
No.
So, hey guys, remember that whole like VHS beta thing?
No.
Yeah, I'm old.
I kind of remember it,
Well, it's like...
but
Oh, go ahead.
Do you know the sad reason that VHS won over Betamax? Because Betamax was actually a better format. But Sony wouldn't let the porn industry use Betamax. So they lost because porn could be put on VHS.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That is why when Blu-ray came out, Sony was like, yeah, we'll let the porn industry use it this time.
That's awesome.
not that it can't be accessed on the internet at any given point.
Well,
which is probably part of the argument. It's like, if they're putting it on Blu-ray, it's probably limited anyway.
So, yeah.
The more you know.
I sent you links to so many sound bites so you could have them all ready to go.
No internets.
You download the
That's-
soundbite and
they
cue
They
them.
are downloadable, yeah. That's why I chose those ones to send you. It took me a really long time to look them up. Not that I'm annoyed that you're not using them or anything.
I need like a soundboard for my computer.
I know. That's
Which
what
you can
I was trying
download,
to
load
help
into
make-
the sounds.
Okay, send me a link to a soundboard that I can download.
What am I, your bitch?
No,
Do it
I
yourself.
Said yes. Why did his look say yes?
It didn't say yes.
It did so. I saw
Did
it
not.
in your eyes.
Lies.
No, it was there in your eyes.
It was in your eyes. In your eyes.
The light, the heat, your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Wow, we're having a really musical news show here.
I've got to make up for a lot of lost time, you guys.
All right,
We
Mike.
also have to make up for the cancellation of JC Superstar.
I'm sorry, buddy. Well, you know, Mike and I's D&D characters being a Cats reference was kind of a me trying to cheer you up.
No,
Not Jesus Christ Superstar.
it's not
but,
Jesus Christ Superstar.
But, I mean, it's a musical.
Yeah. But it was
Okay.
It's Johnny Rotten.
I would have really enjoyed seeing Johnny Rotten in that.
Yeah.
They couldn't
And I think
afford
he was
him.
actually going to be Judas Iscariot, too.
They couldn't afford him.
What was like him, the lead singer to Incubus, and some boy band member were like the.
Yeah,
like,
it was like Lance Bass or somebody like that.
It wasn't Lance Bass,
No, but
but
it was somebody like that.
somebody like that, yeah. But they were like the top 3 people in the show, and yeah, no, that was millions of dollars worth of just those 3. Much
They
less
sold
everything.
22 tickets. No, I don't know them. That's a made up number, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saving. I was saving up for mine. So
it's okay, buddy.
Mike, what's happening right now?
I don't know. I'm just waiting.
Musical review hour.
Yeah.
Nice,
we're
Mickey.
lamenting the sadness of a great musical being canceled because it has a bunch of lame asses that don't want to go see JC Superstar.
Oh, the local, as they were bringing it to town.
Yeah.
So it's just, I thought as a whole it was
Welcome,
canceled.
Dustin.
What? I thought it was like as a whole.
Oh,
it
the
was
tour
canceled.
got canceled, didn't it? I
Yeah.
thought it was the whole tour.
Oh, the
yeah.
entire tour got canceled?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
couldn't afford Johnny Rotten. Because
They-
he was the most expensive out of all of them.
probably.
Yeah.
It's funny because the 100.3
Fucking
just
Sex Pistols.
just had an interview with the guy from Incubus about it like a week ago.
Yeah, it got canceled since then.
Oh, womp womp.
We could just listen to Sex Pistols and read the Bible at the same time and pretend that it's... I cheered Mason up. Yay!
God save the Queen! The fascist. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll move on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of you might have seen in the news feeds and on Facebooks and stuff that they had this like picture of the ISR and when they turned on some telescope. Well, no, it wasn't the ISR. It was actually a testing of a new telescope. So they have a telescope down in Chile with a new a sphere camera attached
Didn't
to
we
it.
talk about this?
No, that was
Particular
the super
telescope?
mega ultra huge telescope.
That's the one
It's
they're
not the same
building.
one?
That's a different one now.
This is
Yeah,
different.
That's
Okay.
not going to be built for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's huge.
This one,
They're working on it.
well, this one in particular, it's using, from my understanding, an existing telescope and just using a new camera that they got connected up to it. They pointed it at, just had it here, it's HR 4796A. So, they wanted to test it out, so they picked something cool to point it at, and that's what they pointed it at. And that's why it looks like the RSR, is because it's that thing they chose. But the cool things about the camera. First off, it does correction for atmosphere distortion. So it actually has controls to adjust the mirrors in the array to adjust the image for whatever the atmosphere above it is doing.
Nice.
Yeah. And another couple of tricks they had on this one, they actually have a filter, which, from what I was looking at, it sounded like it was just a digital, basically a digital blank spot in the middle of the lens to basically block out the sun as they're trying to take pictures of planets around other systems.
Okay.
So what they're using this for is to search for planets. So it's got basically a dark spot to cover up the sun for whatever system they're looking at so that they got less glare and it makes it easier for them to find planets.
Nice.
Also, the other thing I thought was really cool about this, they actually take the camera and rotate it as it's taking pictures. So anything in the image that's moving is real. Anything that's not moving is artifact. And so it can filter those out. Yeah. Yeah, so the picture that they did take there, basically the ring is apparently from a planet, like a planetary ring. I'm not sure if they're talking about the inner ring or the outer ring on that picture, but and they also mentioned that part of it too is there's a large dust cloud because it's a young solar system where the planet's still in formation. So there's a lot of what you're seeing in the image there is from the dust that's basically forming into a planet.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's it. I like the article mainly because they were talking about the new style camera and some of the specific features it had. But still, very cool to see what they're doing with that and, getting pictures of those planets for us.
Yay.
Because science is awesome.
It's true.
I have really been getting into exoplanets. It's probably at some news. If I don't find a good news story sometime, I'm probably just going to put up a list of exoplanets and read that off for people.
Not only that we
But
did,
the problem is they have really boring names like HH359A,
Yeah. Well, I'm
HH358B.
more like about the descriptions, like the diamond planet, the
The off huge rock planet that they thought couldn't exist but found one that
the
does.
Godzilla planet, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, the Super Earth.
Yeah.
Like 17 times more dense than the Earth.
Yeah.
Crazy big. Yeah.
It'd be so short
Cool
there.
stuff.
Yes.
Thought you had a weight problem now.
Hell yeah, man.
Just remember, that's why you go by mass, not weight. Mass doesn't change. Weight does.
There's like been 4 or 5 spots, like 20 minutes in the show.
We
could've
are
used
now
that.
officially an educational program, you guys.
Yay!
Yay!
What's
Fuck you, Apple. I mean, sorry, what?
Education.
Leftovers. Sorry, I had leftover hate.
You okay?
I'm good.
It's oh my god, he's switching. You guys.
Go
Sorry.
buy yourself an
I'm done.
iBook, people.
It's just
It's okay.
fetal position and
Go on.
bubble
been a
bath
while.
smutty. It'll be
Been
okay.
a while.
Ugh.
Okay. So, now for science taking a scary turn.
Yay.
Well, there's this wonderful thing called the Turing test, named after Alan Turing, the father of the modern computer, who I have mentioned before on the show.
Yes, you have. In our top 10 geeks?
Top Nerds episode, yes.
Yeah,
He's one of my
top
top
10 nerds.
dead ones. Because, committing suicide after being chemically castrated by the British government, not getting a posthumous pardon until really recently.
They did a lot of that.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I read something that the reason he was castrated is because he was found to be gay.
Right, because being gay was illegal. in
Yeah.
Britain
Yeah,
at the
his
time.
options
Still
were
some places
go to
that-
jail or chemical castration.
Yeah.
At least I think those
You
places
know,
don't do castration anymore.
Being being an important war hero. Well, not hero because what he did was clandestine, but being inherently important to the war effort to save England in World War II wasn't, enough to give him a pass or anything. So anyway, the test is named after Alan Turing, and basically a computer, to pass the Turing test, a computer needs to fool 30% of the human judges for 5 minutes in text-based chats, and make it so they realize it is not and make it so to pass the judges have to think that the computer is actually a human. And a little computer named Eugene out of Russia has done so, making it think that it was a 13-year-old boy who English was not his primary language. And 33% of the human judges thought he was a real person.
Saying it's not his primary language seems like cheating.
So that's part of that's part of my problem with it is that saying that English is not the primary language is kind of cheating.
Because I've had some fun conversations with people in other countries when I've been outsourced to them.
Yeah.
That I can see a computer saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know if I'd pass the Turing test. But so yeah, they got it to trick them, which is basically what they're doing, is getting the computer to trick the humans. So
Why are we encouraging this?
because evidently some people are crazy and want HAL 9000.
No.
You remember when Tim mentioned who was going to survive the robot apocalypse?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on. I think this is The Verge.
Yeah. I survived longest.
Yeah, but I was second.
True.
Skynet.
Maybe that's because I can't pass the Turing test.
Maybe. I need to work on my robot voice. Beep, boop, boop, beep.
But yeah, so it's kind of one of those things.
English not primary language. Binary is primary.
For some reason in the article they're talking about being worried about cybercrime. Whereas I'm not so much worried about cybercrime as I am the AI behind chatbot getting better and becoming,
Sorry, Mason.
HAL.
I broke Nikki. I
wanted to
Nikki is broken.
Primary is primary language.
I didn't even think it was that
So-
funny, but it broke
It
Nikki. That's for sure.
probably wasn't. But
I
I
have-
really like robots.
Sorry.
I have to put a
Go
few
ahead.
points on this one. Okay. First off, as much as I do love Turing, I don't believe in his test. I think the idea of basically programmers programming a computer to imitate being a human is not going to test for whether or not a computer can actually think or reason, which is the thing that's going to kind of cross that line from being a computer to being an artificial intelligence.
Yeah. It's part of the process, and it's not the whole process.
Well, definitely. The cybercrime thing, I could see that. Because there is some scary-ass computer programs out there that really sound like real people.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just, they try and get out there as much as possible and scam as many people as they can, and rather than having one person sit on a phone and try and call people, you have a computer do it to dozens and dozens and dozens of people
Yeah.
and try and get information. And basically, majority of people, yeah, they're not going to be fooled by that, but you get that one person out of a dozen or 50 or 100
who's just happy that somebody called her.
And then it becomes worth your while.
Yeah.
So that's what the problem is there.
It's even more worth your while if you've got a computer and you don't have to pay them to be doing it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. I've seen them. I've seen the robot callers. I've seen customers who have gotten calls from those callers. I mean, it's really weird. And there's some scary stuff that can happen because of that.
Yeah. As far as the voice programs go, like that's they've gotten a lot better. Okay, they've gotten scarily good at computer voices sounding like humans.
Would you like to play a game of chess?
No, I want to play global thermonuclear destruction.
I think global thermonuclear warfare.
Warfare, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the only way to win is not to play.
Sorry.
Now that we've spoiled war games for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. If that was
something.
a spoiler for you, you're an idiot.
If that's a spoiler for you. Your expiration date ran out a long time ago.
And also, they should let you out of that box they're keeping you in every once in a while.
So, speaking of Skinner. No. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, I'm done. I guess Nikki can go now.
Now it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Nikki. Wow us.
I've got 2 words for you guys.
2?
Well, 3.
As she holds up 2 fingers.
Fuck you. Space fucking salads.
Space. Oh, now hold on.
Okay.
Now is fucking
No
being
one's
used
fucking
as an
salads in
adjective
space.
or an
No,
adverb
it's punctuation, is what
or
it
a
is.
verb? Sorry.
Punctuation.
Oh, okay.
So NASA is about to harvest lettuce grown on the International Space Station.
Booyah.
I'm a gardening nerd.
Yes.
Little bit of an ISO nerd. They're gardening up on the space station, you guys. I missed my fucking calling, is what's going on here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Chris Hatfield isn't there to garden.
I know, to serenade us while we grow lettuce in space. Oh my god.
To serenade the lettuce to see if it grows better.
The lettuce would be so nutritious being grown in space and serenaded David Bowie songs by Chris Hadfield. Anyways, there's an astronaut up on board the space station who's been tasked with caring for a small patch of red romaine lettuce. They've got this setup, which basically looks like it's a tent thing, and it's got a mat in the bottom for the roots to go into. And it has LED lights, and it does the light, and it keeps the temperature all controlled and everything. And they've grown lettuce. They had 6, their little, I think they said Kevlar packets. I'm not entirely sure why they're Kevlar. Probably to protect the seeds from radiation until they can germinate, would be my guess. Trying to find where it says what it is. Yes, Kevlar lined plant pillows is what they call them. And well, if you click on the article, it looks like a little shittily made, like, 4th grader sewing project, learning how to hand stitch things pillow with lettuce coming out of it. And it's Kevlar, and it's in this like kitty litter type stuff, so that it's like what they use for hydroponics is what I'm imagining. Mm-hmm. And they were dealing with the problem of trying to figure out how the fuck to water these things, because, you know, in space, water just kind of floats around and gets into your instrument panels and causes all sorts of fun problems. So they actually inject water into these pouches, and the seeds germinate, and 5 of the 6 seed packets germinate, and they say they don't know why the 5th one didn't, because a very large portion of seeds just don't germinate. You always plant way more than you want to actually grow. The other ones were so successful, they actually ended up having to thin them out. So the roots...
We're having salad tonight, boys.
Yeah, well, they're not eating it, though. They have to send it back to Earth to be tested, because they're not sure, food safety-wise, what's going to be going on.
No.
Project Iceberg coming in on re-entry.
Yeah, it's a Project Iceberg. It's romaine, Dustin.
You got it.
So they're
they
doing...
pack it up to send it back down. It starts eating the guy's head.
Yeah, they're freezing it.
Water's on Mars all over again.
So they've got freezers, apparently, on the space station, which is cool. But so they're going to do bacteria swabs of the leaves and then send the swabs and the frozen lettuce down. And if it's successful, then they're going to start growing vegetables. And they're going to start working on things like radishes, tomatoes, stuff that doesn't take a whole lot of preparation to be able to eat it. And the whole idea is that the further away from Earth we're getting, the harder and more expensive it is to send food on the flights.
Right.
So by being able to grow our own food, and there's some really good pictures of the tent thing. By being able to grow our own food, seeds are light. They produce a lot. Yeah. It's not like there's going to be bugs in space or anything like that, so you won't have to worry about a lot of things that you will here on Earth. So I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up finding out that it's actually more successful to grow things in space.
Like apparently Boise's little beetle problem they got right now.
Yes.
Oh, God. The elm seed beetles are terrible, and I hate them.
I see those little green and yellow things.
Oh, those I haven't seen.
They're all over.
Oh, is that what those are for? Is the elm
Yeah.
seed beetles? They should have put one up in my old house because they got in. And on any given night, you'd look up at the TV and there'd be like 20 of them having crazy bug sex on the screen. It was great. Those are just the ones that were on the TV screen.
Welcome to Beetlemax after midnight.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Have you ever seen green porn?
Green porn?
Oh, I can't remember what.
It's like
channel
eco-friendly.
did it, but it's got hang on.
I'm very familiar with porn, and I have not heard of this.
No, it's not actually porn. It's an educational series on how bugs mate, done in the style. She wears costumes. It's this actress whose name I can't remember.
Yes, I have heard of this now.
Oh my God, I need to look this up. This is amazing. We're putting fucking Isabella Rossellini. I'm writing this down. We're putting this in the show notes. It's hilarious and creepy and just ruins all of the things. Watching her dressed up in a giant earthworm costume, talking about hermaphroditic masturbation. It's ridiculous. Oh my God,
This
no.
show just took a really weird turn.
Oh no. Watch green porn. It's weirder than the things that I'm saying.
Is it on YouTube or something? Or?
Yeah. No, it's a website. It was put out by Sundance. I think it's on the Sundance website. Show notes. Green porno. Okay, anyways, so space. Oh, no, I'm sorry. People need to know about this. It's so trippy. Like, it's just her in these shitty costumes that look like she threw them together herself, acting out how bugs have sex.
Kind of like how Alton Brown does all this little, like, foam.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's how food works with toys.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to watch them and pick out the worst ones to
and
link
foam
directly.
bricks.
But so they're talking about how as we explore deeper and deeper into space, whatever environment we end up exploring, we're gonna have to figure out how to produce our own food there. So this is just a step in that, which with all of the things that are happening lately, we are on the verge of deep space exploration. Like, if we could just figure out the fuel thing.
What we need to figure out is the speed thing.
Well, the speed thing and the fuel thing, because in order to carry enough fuel to actually get far, you have to make a really big aircraft that uses more fuel. Spacecraft.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that's out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of things. It just seems like just this year we've made all these crazy advancements.
Yeah. Well,
that's cool.
They've been testing the using water as fuel thing, which is pretty cool.
No, that is cool.
Got plenty of that.
I think we're going to have commercial space flight, even if it's just a low orbit. That's financially attainable.
Virgin got the go-ahead.
Oh, I know it exists. I'm talking about affordable.
But I just recently,
Well,
and they have
that's
their
not
first.
Oh, I know. I follow this
Passenger
shit because
coming
I
up.
am going into space someday. Even if it's just for 15 minutes and I have to save up my whole life for it, it's going to fucking happen.
Like 80 years old.
Yeah, it will happen. Yeah, it's not a question.
And you'll
It's
just
gonna
die
happen.
in flight. You'd be happy.
Yes, I will.
I hope you document it.
I will.
Just
I'll put it up on our YouTube channel in 80 years. It'll be cool.
you'll just go into rigor mortis with a permanent smile. Just
Oh, yeah, no, I would die so happy if I could die in space. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Nikki. So if they're going to go with the food in space, how are they going to pollinate them?
Well, yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering earlier. Thank you for reminding me of that. Because, I mean, it's not like there's any natural pollinators up on the space station. Can't imagine there's like bumblebees flying around, although we had a really great conversation about space bees.
With little space helmets on.
Yeah, little bubble helmets, little space bees buzzing around. Because we're killing them off here. We might as well send them into space so they have a fighting chance.
I still like my space gimp.
No, there is no space gimp walking around pollinating the plants.
Okay.
I mean,
Kinda
it might
remi-
be, but I think bees would be cheaper.
there
than
was
space
a
gimp.
there was a video floating around the internet recently with an old.
Does any get a space honey?
Oh my god.
You can make salad dressing for your space lettuce with the space honey in it.
Yes.
What? And space walnuts.
Oh my god, it would be the most expensive salad
That's a tree.
ever.
That's different.
Same principle, though. They might be able to do that. They need a deeper mat for the roots to take hold in, but...
The same size as the trees.
But, I mean,
Foliage.
it's doable. And if this works, I mean... I don't know, and I'm sure the astronauts are super fucking stoked to have fresh food. It's gotta be really hard not to just go up and be like, yeah, it's great and it's not freeze-dried,
So where's this?
Sorry,
space
NASA, the experiment failed. We don't know. It just shriveled up
Maybe
and died.
that's what happened to the fifth one. It's not that it didn't germinate, it's that they had a fucking salad bar.
Don't tell anybody.
You let the cat out of the bag, Nikki.
Sorry, guys.
Now they're going to send some tightwad FDA inspector up there with long
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I mean, NASA's so regulated, I can't imagine the FDA would have a whole lot to say to them.
True.
But it's just cool to think about, astronauts, they're in space. The Earth is below them. That probably becomes routine to them.
Yeah.
But then they have to add the routine of gardening with that view.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going out and watering your fucking plants in space? Like, it just...
It'd be funny if they had like one of those little windowsill potter.
I really want a space garden, you guys. I want some space basil and some space herbs. Oh, the newest fad in cooking. Oh,
They could probably do that. They could probably
fund the next mission.
That's what I'm saying.
By doing that.
Only costs you like $1,000 a gram.
You're welcome, NASA.
And then the rich people who buy it will be like, I'm disappointed because this doesn't taste any different than the romaine lettuce I could have bought
But
at the
I
store.
helped put more men in space and now have a sense of accomplishment that makes all my food even more delicious.
And now I'll be able to poop something out that was grown in space.
Space poops!
Yay!
Oh,
They already have that.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's made of freeze-dried stuff. Freeze-dried ice cream is still pretty good, though.
Oh my god. So eventually they're
Never
going
had
to
that.
actually eat the
They
stuff
never-
they grow.
They never
Yeah,
like
they are.
And that'll be like real space poop.
Oh my god.
they never like came in and actually like in grade school never came in with like freeze-dried ice cream and did little demonstrations for you and
About the space program.
I mean, I think they did a demonstration, but I don't think I got freeze-dried ice cream. I think that's where I got my space station poster.
weird. Yeah, because they came out like handed out like one.
Oh,
it's like an
I
ice cream
want-
sandwich, and they just
I always wanted
They
to
handed them
try
out to
it
the
because
class.
it's space ice cream.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No.
It's kind of like this.
I've had MREs close enough.
I was gonna say, do they sell it at the Army Navy store? We could probably
do.
pick some up and
Yeah.
just be like,
They do.
eat it on
sure
show.
They also sell it at Cost Plus.
I almost bought some, and then I decided that real food for backpacking and shit was probably a better use of my money.
Yeah, nuts and M&Ms and
I did
Trail
buy
mix.
trail mix, yeah. But it came out of a really cool pouch.
Oh, that's an excuse.
Yes.
all right.
Space.
Any other miscellaneous news that you can think
Miscellaneous, as in missiles, as in spaceships.
of? Is there
Oh,
something
I was
you-
gonna mention the Galunker Kickstarter.
Oh, go for it.
So there is the most gorgeously illustrated children's book I have ever seen in my life. It's got a Kickstarter. It's called Galunker, and it's about pit bulls, but in the way that sane people who actually know pit bulls feel about them, because they get demonized. My dog's a pit mix. He's a big, loyal sweetheart. I know several people who've been attacked by dogs, none of whom were pits. It's the owner. Any dog can be a bad dog if it's owned by a bad person, or a person who doesn't treat it well, or neglects it, or whatever. And Glunker is about a pit bull, and they've actually been playing it, they've been sharing it in the Huffington Post. If you look, just Google, I'll put a link
Just
to it.
Link to it.
Yeah, and it's written sort of Dr. Seuss rhymey style, and it's about a pit bull that gets rescued from a dogfighting ring and meets a little girl and they become best friends. I haven't read all the other versions, but the art in it is completely awesome. It's just gorgeous, and I'm trying to find pictures to show the guys while I'm talking about it. But yeah,
I've seen it.
It's a children's book about you know, how you need to respect dogs, all dogs, and a dog's not necessarily inherently mean just because of what kind it is. It's very cool, and it's got an essay in there that's geared towards the parents, and they're hoping, because there are a lot of shelters who, if they run out of room, the first dogs that they put down, no matter what the circumstances, the dog's personality or what, they will put down the pit bulls because they don't get adopted, because people are afraid of pit bulls, and especially rescues, because they don't necessarily know their background. Which, I mean, they do all sorts of behavioral tests at any humane society. I know ours does. They'll test them for temperament and all sorts of things. So, I mean, if the dog's up for adoption, it's not an aggressive dog.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might be, they get kennel shock, so it might be acting a little funky, but I mean, they all need homes, and so their hope, because I guess when the Harry Potter books came out, there was a rise in the number of children asking their parents for pet owls.
Oh.
Yeah. So their hope is that with this book, if they can put it out, they're going to raise money for shelters, and they want to have kids asking their parents for pit bulls. I mean, this is such a heated topic, and I feel so strongly about it. But the one thing I always like to tell people is, well, Petey from the Little Rascals was a pit bull. Like, I mean, they didn't become demonized until the last, 10 years?
Yeah, something
yeah,
like that.
last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before
maybe
that,
into the late 90s.
Yeah, I mean, before that it was Dobermans and Rottweilers and German Shepherds. You know, we tend to go through cycles of blaming one breed of dog for every attack. If a dog attacks a child, it's a pit bull. If it's not a pit bull, it's still a pit bull. Because that makes for a good story, because they've got strong jaws and they look scary, but they're
I actually
loyal.
don't think pit bulls look that scary.
I don't either. I think they look goofy. They smile. And that's what I like about the Galunker art, is they totally captured the pit bull smile. Oh yeah, they have the goofiest derp. The derp face that they make. They were bred to be loyal. They were bred to be nanny dogs. Unfortunately, a lot of not good people have been attracted to them because of their secondary characteristics, but they were bred to be, nanny dogs. People would leave their kids home alone with these dogs and trust the dogs to watch their kids. Like, they're super loyal, they're super goofy, and I'm so excited about this book because I just get so frustrated when people make broad generalized statements about pit bulls, because yes, while I realize there are a large number of pit bull attacks reported, that's not because they are a disproportionately aggressive breed. It is because they have strong jaws, so when they bite, it's worse. But there's actually more bites by, what was the number one? It's like Dachshunds, I think, are the most aggressive. It's like Dachshunds, Jack Russells, and Chihuahuas, I think, are the top 3 most aggressive dogs. They're just so small that when it happens, either A, you don't want to admit that you got it mauled by a Chihuahua, or B, it doesn't do enough damage that you say anything. So there's a lot, like, people still think their jaws lock into place when they bite, which is false. It's medically false. That's not a thing that happens. They just have big, fat, muscly heads. Like, Circus's head is...
Bulldogs, on the other hand.
Well, no dog's jaws lock into place.
Original Old English bulldogs, they don't lock in place.
No, they don't lock. They just have strong muscles.
But they had muscles that would go clear up back to the ears.
Pit bulls are an offshoot of bulldogs.
Yeah.
They have muscly, big, fat. I call it his big, fat dog head. Like, they just have big, muscly heads. It's just one of their characteristics. But their jaws don't lock. They're not bred to kill people. And a lady.
Plus, the whole idea of the jaw locking's counterproductive to eating.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't even make sense. But a gal actually in protest has started up a counter argument, I guess you could call it, called That Pit Bull Puppy Wants to Chew Your Face Off. I'm really hoping she doesn't get the funding for this.
No puppy ever wants to chew your face off.
It'll lick your face off. And have you seen pit bull puppies?
They're adorable.
Oh my god. I wish I could have seen Circus when he was a puppy. He probably looked like a bobblehead, because he's got just the biggest, fattest dog head. You know what? We can put up a picture of my dog too, because he's just a big goofy dork. He's not purebred by any means. There's like 8 different dogs in him, but he's got all of the loyal, super happy, grinning, Staffordshire Terrier, which is a pit bull cousin, characteristics. And I am a volunteer with the Boise Bully Breed Rescue. Like, this is something I feel so strongly about. And just go check out the artwork. It's beautiful, and they have a great message, just teaching kids to respect dogs instead of... It just seems the message right now is, oh, let's run away from that dog because of what kind it is. Which is just not a way to teach your kid to be safe. Maybe teach your kid not to pull the dog's tail.
Also, if you run away from any dog...
They're going to chase you.
They're going to chase because that's what... All the way back to being wolves has taught them.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Circus is great with cats. He has 3 of them. He likes to make friends with all sorts of cats, but if he sees a cat running away from him, his ears perk up. I tease him. I say, you've already got 3 kitties. You don't need another one. They're, it's a really, it's just, the art is beautiful. It's fantastic. I just go to the Kickstarter and watch the video. They're great people trying to accomplish a great thing. There's so many sweet pit bulls out there. I've been noticing as you drive through town, all those pit bulls that we got from another shelter last year, I've been seeing a lot of people with pits walking around. They're just happy, healthy dogs. It makes me so happy to see that because it feels like the stigma's starting to go away a little bit.
Yeah, actually, I was outside of work, taking a break last night, and I was just sitting in a chair over at a table near my work, and a guy came walking by, had a pit bull, and he looked at me, and then he looked down at his dog. And he was worried I was going to say something.
Oh yeah, there's so many dog races out there. Circus gets it. He barely looks like one.
And this was a pretty close, if not purebred pit bull.
Oh, they're so cute.
I was just I just looked at him and was like, if you give him its cool look. Yeah. And he came over and sat at a table, next
Did it
to
lick
me.
your face off?
Oh, he was like...
Yeah. They're so sweet.
He was like, can I go meet the new person?
Yeah.
And he didn't let the dog near me.
Pit bulls, their traits, if you talk to somebody who actually knows about the breed, and if you actually read up the AKC descriptions of them, they're known for being loyal, they're known for having a sense of humor, they're known for being outgoing. They're just, if you're an active person who has time to focus on training a high energy dog, because they get bored, and that's when they start to get destructive and chew on things, because they've got that jaw, they like to chew. And if they get bored, they tend to do that. They're really smart dogs, and if you have the energy to train them and run them and do all this stuff with them, they're just fantastic. And I love pit bulls so much, and this book makes me happy, and I'm totally going to buy it. I'm actually considering when I get paid, if you contribute, I think it's $25 to the Kickstarter, you get a signed copy of the book when it comes out. Yeah, which is about what it would cost to buy it anyways, so. But yeah, so check that out. Hug your pets.
Yay.
That was my pit bull rant. It just makes me sad when people demonize an animal. It's not the animal. They don't instinctively want to murder your face.
Except for guinea pigs. Watch out for the guinea pig.
Have you seen the guinea pig video of that guy interviewing his guinea pig?
No.
It is just hilarious.
Have you seen hamsters eating tiny burritos?
Yes, I have.
Oh my god.
Also funny.
Okay. Guinea pig interview?
Hamster burritos.
Yeah, it's just...
Hamsters eating tiny burritos. You might get something else if you just type in hamster burritos.
Jesus.
In order to get the dogs to fight, not only do they have to starve them,
they abuse
but
them
then
constantly.
they have what they call a bait dog, which is a dog that is weak and small, that they injure so that it bleeds, so that there's a smell on the air. And that's what gets those dogs riled up. The amount of... Just think about the lengths they have to go to get these 2 dogs who have been starving to fight. They have to injure another dog.
Yeah.
They don't want to fight. They think they're lap dogs. They want to sit in your lap and get belly rubs and make a big dopey grin at you. And that's what they want to do. If I could give all the pit bulls a home, I would do it.
Kind of reminds me of that anti-racism poster I saw online where no child is ever born to hate. And what it is, it's like a white parent and a black parent, just kind of looking at the aisles across from each other. But the babies are on the backs of the parents trying to reach out and touch each other and say hi.
Yep.
It's a kind of the same concept. No dog is born to want to chew your face off.
Dogs are born to want to be our companions. That's what they were.
That's what we bred them
Yeah,
for.
that's what we did. And pit bulls, when I mean, obviously, like, if you've got small children and are considering bringing a pit bull into your home and you weren't sure about its background, sure, in that case, a puppy's probably a good idea for you because then you can make sure that it was raised in the right environment and always treated well and doesn't have any weird hang-ups. But there are so many dogs out there in shelters that need homes. I mean, Circus, I've mentioned he's just a part breed, but he went through, there's a program our Humane Society called the IDAPI program, where they go live at the penitentiary, and inmates who have good behavior get to live with the dogs and train them basic obedience. They get kennel trained, stuff like that. And it's an amazing program. And Circus went through that. And then no one adopted him. He's not just a pit bull mix, but he's also black, which a lot of black dogs don't get adopted. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. Same with cats. So he had to go through it
Old
second
ancient
time.
superstitions.
Yeah, it's.
I specifically wanted a black pug when I wanted.
Oh yeah, they're
I wanted
great.
one.
He overheats really fast in the summer, and that one's fun. But you know, he's a fantastic dog, and
But that's when his tongue hangs out of his head and he goes, and it's cute and adorable and kind of slobbery.
It's true.
Kind of slobbery.
I had a relative who had
slobbery.
a dog that died of heat exhaustion very quickly, so I'm a little paranoid about these things.
My dad owns a giant half lab, half chow.
Oh, I had a chow lab mix once.
And it is gigantic, and it is got the biggest, blackest, furriest coat you've ever seen. So you have to
How long
shave
has
him
he
down
had
every
him?
summer. He's getting old. He's like
Okay.
12 now.
Because I had to give mine up at the Humane Society, and I've always secretly hoped that...
Always had him since he was a pup.
Okay.
So
I've always secretly hoped that I would meet the person who got him and know that he ended up being okay, because he was the sweetest dog ever. I just couldn't have a dog anymore.
yeah, he's a good looking pup. He's smart as
Oh,
hell,
yeah.
too.
Chow lab, mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
he's people.
Yeah, they're people.
Well, we're approaching an hour.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I had a dog rant.
I think a third of our show just
If
ended up
anybody
with.
disagrees with me, I mean, just think about it. Like, maybe instead of demonizing dog species, people could teach their kids to not pull dogs' tails and not shove their faces in the faces of strange dogs. And, you know, you don't know if that dog's gonna get scared.
Put it this way: Hitler was not born wanting to kill Jews.
Don't compare pit bulls to Hitler.
Like you compare anything to that analogy, though.
Yeah, but it's still not a good analogy. I don't like it. They're not Hitler. They're fuzzy, fuzzy little balls of, they want to love you, but if you teach them to hate, they'll do that because they want to please you and they think that makes you happy.
Basically,
Yeah.
a lot of things are just born as a product of their environment. And if you're put in a shitty environment, you're probably gonna grow up to be a shitty person
Exactly.
or dog.
Dogs are
In this
not
case.
property, they're family members, and people need to treat them thusly.
All pets.
Amen.
All pets.
Let's end it on that
It's true.
note. Let's end it on that
Yeah.
note. That's a happy
That's
note.
a good note.
All right. Well, for the Nerd Effect News Show, we have been.
Malcolm Morgan.
He's still here.
Mason, Ireland.
Nikki Priddle.
And I'm Dustin Vancouver. We'll catch you guys next week. And, oh, by the way, side news. We have a big announcement coming up really, really soon. So pay attention to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yay. Or our Facebook page where it'll probably go up anyway.
Oh,
But-
it's okay. We'll be yelling on everything when it's up.
Yay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, big announcement coming up really soon. So this will go up first probably, and then as I find time, you get to finally see all of us in action. Acting like dweebs.
Bigger dweebs because we have to re-record it.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway.
Little behind the veil. We fucked up the first time. It's never gonna go do the other one.
Mike broke it.
I did not.
See you
And
next
Mike
week.
wasn't on.
Bye.
Bye.